And we're going to ask our panel whether how keen 3 of the 10 franchises are going to be to try and secure a captain. We know that Bangalore will need to find someone after Virat Kohli. We also know that Kolkata need to find somebody else after Owen Morgan didn't quite work for them, even though he did make a final last season. There was always pressure on Morgan's position in that team. Punjab Kings do not have the services of KL Rahul, so they're looking for one of Shreyas Iyer, you think, maybe David Warner. Thoughts on captain contenders, Aakash, as we go into this auction? 3 franchises certainly keen to get captains?
See, in ideal circumstances, only 2 should be keen. One really has a contender with them. They've retained Mayank Agarwal. If I were sitting in the Punjab Kings dugout, I'll say make him the captain. He is someone who's done the hard yards. He's been around for a while. He is a performer. He is a complete team man, team before self. And just allow him to be and make a team around him. Because whatever has happened with Punjab Kings over the last so many years, is that either they let go of captains or captains don't want to stick around. There's something that's not right with regards to their relationship with the captains or vice versa. So why now go in another direction where you spend 15-20 crore to acquire a captain, and in the bargain you get a very unbalanced sort of side. So Punjab should not be looking for a captain to begin with. When you talk about Bangalore and Kolkata, of course they do need captains, but a captain, if you go shopping for captain, a high-profile Indian captain, so in Shreyas Iyer, I feel that 15 crore, 20 crore, 18 crore, these numbers, they sound good. You want a captain, yes, but then on Morgan, like you rightly said, he took the team to the finals, right? And his contribution with the bat was almost negligible. You have great captains, of course, Rohit Sharma and Mahendra Singh Dhoni in the IPL. But you can still win. You can get the team together. If the team is not good, an extraordinary captain is not going to do anything. If a captain is all right, I think you can still work if the team is actually robust. So this auction, don't go shopping or don't just break your bank to get a captain will be my advice.
GS, do you second that from Aakash? You've always stressed on the importance of getting the captain right. Do you see these 3 franchises actually looking to get somebody to lead?
Ideally, like Aakash said, captain is very important, but you should have kind of retained him, or you should have decided who the captain was before the auction. That's the larger point I would like to make. Now that you don't have, either make Punjab can make Mayank the captain and move on with that, so that he gets the team he wants. And RCB has an option in Maxwell if they feel that he's the one who can captain Virat Kohli, at the same time can take the team forward. But yeah, I agree with Aakash. You don't have to go and pay huge sums for a particular captain. If you get a captain on the way, it's fine. That works. But I wouldn't be paying a lot of money for captains. However, you know that a certain captain candidates like Owen Morgan, for example, may come in at a slightly cheaper rate than what you would expect him to go. He's not going to break the bank. So I think a couple of teams there like KKR and RCB will have Morgan as a backup in case they feel that, okay, we don't get a particular captain, so be it. Let's build a squad first. That's most important. It's COVID time. There's a lot of bubbles, and you need good depth. So you need about 16, 17 really good players, and then you start focusing on other aspects. If you don't have a captain, that is. But ideally, you shouldn't be in this situation, if you ask me.
All right, interesting. Before I go to Naga, I'll just come back to Dan. That point that Rogarev throws up, Maxwell is a potential candidate. Do you think RCB are thinking on those lines, or are they as a franchise more keen to not have that thrown on Maxwell after one successful season after many years? Let him just do his role, and we try and go aggressively for David Warner, who'd fit in nicely in that franchise and lead. Where do you think RCB would be looking at that Maxwell prospect as captain, Dan?
Well, I think both options are on the table. I think Maxwell was retained with the view that he's a potential captaincy option. I think he's done a great job for Melbourne Stars. I think he's been energetic. He's probably led in a lot of ways similar to Kohli, probably not quite to the same level of enthusiasm, but I think he's definitely been a guy who's led from the front. He's aggressive in the field. He's aggressive how he runs around the field as well. So they'll see those characteristics, and I'm sure Kohli will have a say in that as well. I mean, he's been crucial to the franchise for so long that I definitely think he'll have some input. So that is a viable option for RCB, but that doesn't discount David Warner or someone else of that ilk. And I think David Warner should be one of the first players selected if captaincy is important to the three teams remaining. And I agree with what Aakash and Jess have said, but I think we have to acknowledge that strong captains have won IPLs. And from my time working in the IPL, the ability for a captain and coach to work together can grow a team and can make a team incredibly successful in a short period of time. So these three teams that don't have captains, I think will be putting a lot of time and effort into finding out who is the right pick for them, like the other franchises have done. And I think Aakash is right. Mike would be perfect because him and Anil can grow together as a team. So that just leaves really two teams, and Maxwell could be an option, and then KKR. And KKR are the sort of team that rely heavily on analytics, so they'll want a captain who can buy into that philosophy as well.
Can I just add just one small thing? One small thing. See, while 100% successful captains, successful franchises, you look at Rohit Sharma, you look at Dhoni, you look at Gautam Gambhir, and you've got 4, 5, 9, 11 IPL trophies between the three captains. So the point of having a great captain, it absolutely makes sense. But you must also look at what are the options available. Was Delhi Capitals a good side because of Shreyas Iyer? Is Rishabh Pant making that team a better team because he's a fascinating, like a charismatic leader? Will David Warner be a great captain, or Shreyas Iyer as an option you want to spend pay through your noses to get him because he is going to lead your team to glory? You must also look at the options that are available on the table, and not necessarily with a long-term vision. It can be a short-term vision. Make Shikhar Dhawan the captain, make Ravichandran Ashwin the captain, get them going because make a good team.